Good morning. Going live on my other feed. Just going to give this a second to capture my beautiful face this morning. Come on. Awesome. All right. I'm on both feeds. I've done it. Okay. How's everyone doing this morning? Present. I like this part because no one knows I'm live and technology hasn't quite made that there's like a delay no matter what. So I get to hang out by myself. Right? Yeah, we're telling your followers that we're out here, and that's okay. I like to be on a couple minutes early to let technology do its thing. I'll talk about my Bucky's Bagels cup when people chime in. I can't believe the difference in these two cameras. That feels closer. Okay. It's almost 7 o'clock, and I'm live on the internet. And so as I wait for people to roll in, we're just going to start grounding, because this practice can be for you, but also can be for me. And it's super dark out today. I thought there'd be more sun. I opened my window and the curtains, and it's just, you're getting just the light from the overhead. Oh, okay. Oh, hey Tyler, thanks for joining. So we're just settling and grounding in, waiting for people to jump on. It's just 7 o'clock. I always sign on a little early to make sure people are notified that the live is happening. Get myself settled in. Hey, Brian. Yeah. Hey. So we're just going to notice our points of contact on the floor, right? My butt is on a cushion. I've got my Bucky's Bagels mug. It was this bagel store in upstate New York somewhere. Oh, I should know. Ooh, New Lebanon, New York. When I used to work in upstate New York. And it's just a funny thing to say. I like saying Bucky's Bagels. This mug gives me so much joy for very few reasons that I can express. So what mug do you guys have? What are you drinking? I've got coffee, obviously. Anyone? All right. So we're just breathing. We're going to talk about self-compassion today because, man, do we need it. We need a lot of it. So how can we're going to explore self-compassion exercise. I think it's a very foreign concept. I think, myself included, that we know what self-compassion is, but we really don't. There's a lot of myths and nonsense around it. So that's going to be our meditation practice today. So just noticing our contact points on the floor. Maybe place your hands down at your sides. Touch the floor beneath you. Hi, Kristen. Thanks for coming. Oh, all right. Ethiopian coffee. Well, if you want to ship some to Connecticut, I'll take it. That sounds good. So we're just noticing our contact points on the floor. Our hands are touching the floor. You might want to float your eyes closed. If that doesn't feel safe or comfortable for you, it's not required at all to meditate or be a meditator in any way, shape, or form. And we're just breathing without judgment right now. Just being present with what is. And if you're on Facebook, I can almost never see anybody pop up. So please feel free to comment and let me know because I can address you. But for some reason, Instagram always seems to be more present and available and showing me who's there. Constant tally. So contact points on the floor. I'm sitting on a cushion. You might be sitting on the floor, carpet, wood. You might be on a cushion, a chair, right? Just noticing either the support on your back, the contact with your cushion, with your chair, and not judge our breath. Just be with it. What's clogged, what's not. I know breath can be slightly triggering, I would imagine, right now with the respiratory illnesses that we're concerned about, but let's just not judge it or worry about it. We're just going to be present with it. As we start to settle into our practice, and definitely I'll give everybody a couple more minutes to sign on, I want us to recognize that we are in an incredibly stressful situation. And as I was prepping for this practice of self-compassion, I realized that the example in the reading I was doing was like, take a minute and think about a stressful situation, right? Remember it. And in my mind and my heart, I was like, what? That is all I imagine most of us are doing. We're trying to either pretend we're not in a stressful situation, or we're like potentially overrun by feelings of stress. Or maybe it's just me. I'm not overrun. But I imagine at some points throughout our day, we are all considering what's going on outside our homes or at our jobs, and we know it's stressful. And so there was like a little bit of humor and disconnect from the workbook I was looking at for support today. But also it doesn't mean we shouldn't be compassionate with ourselves. It doesn't mean we can't have empathy for ourselves and people who are having a hard time. Empathy is bottomless. It's endless. There's not going to be a toilet paper run out, right? Like we're not going to be out of beef jerky or whatever, right? Granola bars. Empathy is endless in its supply. So we can have it for ourselves and we can have it for others. We can also have compassion for ourselves and others. So we're going to focus on that today. So you can choose a different stressful situation. Maybe something's really weighing on you, or something's come up recently as you're quarantined with your family, or, at a lockdown, stay-at-home situation. I know I'm coming to you live from my bedroom if you're new to my meditations. I used to be downstairs, but as I've moved these later based on people's schedules, my kid is awake downstairs and she would just come barreling through and it would be pretty distracting. Entertaining, but distracting. So I'm up in my bedroom, which has become my office. Stressful, right? So pick your stressful situation, whatever it is, and let's just notice it. Let's think, we could float your eyes closed, and let's think about the details. Hard, but important. So who was there, or who is there? What did it feel like? Or what does it feel like? I should probably use present tense, huh? What is it feeling like? Where do you notice the sensations of that experience in your body? Who are the people that were there? What are the feelings? What else? Maybe even like the temperature of the room, or where were you? Was it a bright blue room? Right? What were the colors? I'm just checking my notes here. What was uncomfortable? What is uncomfortable? Maybe everything, right? But that's okay, because we're rolling with this. It's called a practice, because we might mess it up. We might find this really hard and uncomfortable and not want to do it. And that's cool too. You could just stand with me and breathe, or do something else. That's cool. So we're trying to think of a time that we have been stressed out, and it might be the present. So I'm probably going to be working with the present myself. Hey, Salvador, thanks for stopping by. So we're working on self-compassion. We're thinking of a stressful time from the past or the present. We are noticing our thoughts about it, our feelings about it. We're imagining who was there. We're remembering who was there. We're remembering, was it a light room, a dark room? Was it hot? Was it cold? Was there a tension? Right? What was the energy like? Right, we're trying to call all of that up. So breathe with me and remember, or be present, because if it's a present experience, right? If you looked at the news this morning, you might be needing this practice right now. And I want you to remind yourself and tell yourself, this is a moment of suffering. This is a hard time. Let's name it. This is a hard time. Hey, Jesse. And someone whose name I don't know, maybe Danny. All right, so let's think about and label this is suffering. And yes, suffering is a choice. I don't mean that kind of suffering. I just mean this is a really hard time. Whatever you're thinking of, present moment, past moment. We're not going into the future because that doesn't exist and you haven't done it yet. So let's not suffer forward. Let's consider what happened or what's happening. And remember that suffering is part of the human experience. Uncertainty, doubt, challenges, they are really part of our existence always, since forever, since the first single cell organism became a multi-cell organism, right? That was probably suffering. That probably sucked. Ugh. But, I appreciate the effort, right? But we've been suffering forever. And we will continue to suffer. Not all the time. It shouldn't be an all the time experience. But I think it's comforting to know we are calm. Oh, I hear my whole family's walking by my door right now. Okay, so we roll with what's happening. We're all in our houses together. Thank you for staying around. All right, so let's envision, we're labeling this as suffering. And I want you to consider how you can soothe yourself. What is soothing to you that you can access right now? Right? Some people are like really into self-hugs. Maybe a little tap, self-hugging. I'm a big self-high-fiver. Right? It makes me so happy. It makes me think of 30 Rock. It also makes me think of How I Met Your Mother. I definitely don't watch a lot of TV. But also, I would have invented that myself if those guys hadn't done it on television first. For sure. For sure. So it's good self-five. Maybe a hot shower if you can access that. Maybe it's like 2 minutes of peace and quiet. That's what this is for me. With all of you, right? Some peace and quiet, some calm, stillness. Whatever's soothing you that you can access right now. Maybe it's a walk out in nature. A lot of people are remembering that nature exists. Maybe it's blowing some bubbles. I've been blowing bubbles with my kid. It's actually pretty fun. Yep, and using our imagination. We can be somewhere else if we close our eyes and be present. Whatever's soothing for you. I can't tell you what it is. Just offering suggestions. And I want you to envision forgiving yourself for whatever decisions you've made. Remember to be strong and be patient. And this is where the self-compassion comes in or easily goes out, right? So we're thinking about a hard time from our past or the present. And I'm absolutely thinking about this crisis, right? This is suffering for sure. And this isn't the suffering we choose. This is just suffering, watching other people be hurt, watching ourselves be hurt, right? Having some of our freedom stripped away, not being able to go to a playground with my child. It's pretty devastating, right? This is going to impact us in ways we don't even know right now. That's suffering. Like, big time. It's not choosing suffering. How you think about it could be suffering more, adding that choice of suffering. But so we can be compassionate, forgive ourselves, breathe, soothe, and remember that we are strong. We are so strong. We have the capacity to do so much. We are resilient. I was reading an article this morning, which I meant to pull up the author's name. I cannot remember what it was, but it was talking about the AIDS epidemic in New York City in particular in the 80s, and that it felt a lot like this because other people we knew and loved were dangerous, right? And they had to keep distance. And that they came out of that very different from that terrifying experience. I can't even imagine. But so we're going to be impacted in these ways, but also we're going to be impacted in these incredible ways because we are so infinitely resilient, compassionate, and we're going to grow from this. And so if we can remember that, we can be patient and kind with ourselves, that's how we keep our resilience going. That's how we tap into that resiliency. So let's sit with that for a moment. It's intense. not judging our breath. We're just being present with what is. Remembering our strength, remembering our compassion and capacity for all of these things. And we breathe, right? Breath is super important. We have to remember to breathe. We have to remember to not judge. We have to give ourselves some space, right? I'm working and living in my bedroom. It used to feel like the biggest room I've ever had, which actually it is, for sure. And right now it feels really tiny because I have so much extra stuff in here and I spend so much extra time up here. And don't get me wrong, I am super grateful that I have this awesome space to both work out of and rest in, which is just unreal, right? And that I have an office that one day I will get back to spending lots of time in. So I'm super grateful for all that, but it is shrinking with dog beds and desks and chairs and all the stuff that comes with work and rest. All right, I'm bringing you guys into my bedroom. I bet none of my therapy clients ever envisioned they would get to see my bedroom. Like, how strange is this existence? But if we can be compassionate and patient with ourselves, we're unstoppable. We are unstoppable. All right, just about out of time. I like to keep these to 15 minutes. I just want to remind you all that I am launching a 6-week mind, body, and wellness course. It is group coaching. It is called Uncage with Rachel. And you can join my free Facebook group to learn more about that and also just get to know me a little bit. You can sign up for my mailing list. So join Uncage with Rachel on Facebook. And you can join my email list. You can just go to my website and sign up there. You can get my freebie. It's a yoga flow, a worksheet, and then a audio meditation, which was a lot of hard work and a labor of love, and it's actually really good. So I highly recommend. Those are the ways to access me right now. And I will see you all next week on Wednesday at 7 a.m. at this new, I call this a later time, but it feels pretty spot on. Thank you so much. Please be safe out there. Stay home, wash your hands. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.